Hi, and welcome to the channel. This is a podcast where I love to share my insights. And today I'm talking about the difference between showing off and showing out. And when you learn how to show out, you will find an aliveness that you ever wondered why you would want to show off in the first place. Because there's really nothing to prove. So stick around, and we're going to talk about how do we show out more. Showing out is basically showing up exactly like yourself. This principle is often difficult for people to understand because they are used to putting on a kind of show, you know. You might call that two-faced or three-faced. And you may be caught in showing off if you can't really engage with anything without your phone, posting pictures, that sort of thing. And you really don't want to do anything unless other people know about it. That's another thing. That you have no inherent joy. You don't know how to do something fun and exciting and thrilling alone. A lot of people who show off don't even know how to show up for themselves. So if showing out is showing up, it's how well do you keep company alone? If you don't keep a company well alone, you will not keep company well with other people. Showing off is a metaphor for an inner light that goes It's like being able to demonstrate amazing ability. Like you can play Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata perfectly. When you're by yourself, you can just lose yourself in it. And then when other people are watching, you can't be yourself. You turn into a scared, nervous, sweaty, incapable buffoon. That's because you're blinded by something that many people can't recover from, and that's the part of us that thinks it has to show off. But a great performance is rehearsed. It's being fully yourself in rehearsal every single day. And there's no need to put on a face or a particular outfit or make yourself all gussied up for people. Showing off is a lot of work to get the attention of others, either as praise or as a means of picking a fight. It doesn't matter how the attention is received, as long as it's received. Kids do this all the time. They'll get attention one way or another. Look at me, I can do a cartwheel. I can do a dance. Let me do a dance for you. And we learn at a young age that it's our responsibility to entertain, to make people laugh, to whatever. That we have to get someone's attention. That's what a show-off does. You got to get someone's attention. Now, someone who shows out is there. They show up for themselves. They go to this event for themselves, you see. They make the video for themselves. They are with themselves in public and in private. They don't have a public persona. They don't have a version of themselves that's one way in public and a version of themselves that's another in private. That's authenticity. That's showing up. That's doing things because it lights you up. Not because you light up someone else. Showing off lights up someone else. Showing off turns off your inner light and makes everybody else light up. Well, look at all that. I can make those people laugh. Well, I guess my responsibility is to make the people laugh. My responsibility is to keep those people happy. That's a show off. The inner light goes... A show out makes himself laugh. A really good show out makes himself laugh in front of people. The best show outs are the ones who are having the most fun in the show that they are giving. A show out is someone who plays the piano in the rehearsal room just as well as they play the piano in the concert hall. They can dance like nobody's watching because when they're in public, still nobody's watching. That's a show out. That's an outstanding person because their inner light has not been snuffed by this idea that somebody's watching. You know how if you've ever met somebody who's always on camera and you think, well, you're just like you are on camera. That's a show out. If somebody on camera has a different kind of feel to them, they are a show off. You call that putting on airs, you know? And you know that you're showing off when it takes a lot of work just to show up to your job. It feels like this heavy baggage. Oh, I got to put on the teacher hat. I got to put on my makeup. Oh man. It's that kind of thing. You got to put on a performance. You can't be at home. You can't be yourself. You see? That's how you know you're a show off. Because you may have this idea for a party or a trip or something, but if you forget your camera, it's ruined. You got to keep records of it. You got to show off. And all the record keeping and all the keeping up of appearances is what wears you out. But if there's no difference between the rehearsal, your everyday self, and your public self, where you show up as you are, and you continue to show out, even at the grocery store, you're comfortable at the grocery store, you're comfortable out with people, even if you don't say anything. I'm quiet in my house. Sometimes I'm with people and I don't say anything. I don't feel the need to put on a show. That's when you're showing out. And sometimes the best way to show out is to shut up. And if you feel that inner light propelling you to express yourself, you do it. Otherwise, showing up for yourself as being the joyful, comfortable, peaceful version, not the one that wants to run away from yourself. If you're bored and frustrated and you can't sit still, you're showing off. So we want to practice showing up for ourselves. A lot of it is neglect. You have neglected yourself, not your concept of yourself, but the inner center being that holds you there, has always held you there in the loving arms of its grace, peace, security. That is not carried around on the vessel, because the body moves all over the place, and sometimes that is absent. That inner light has been turned off to the person who's trying to live in something called the limelight. The limelight is the spotlight of those eyes shining on you. But what if you could really, really be yourself, express yourself, and tell the truth wherever you go? Be the living, breathing truth. Even if that includes speaking about the things you did in the past. If you cannot speak openly about what you've done in the past to yourself, I've had to tell myself out loud some of the horrible things I've done to people. And I've had to forgive myself. Once you clear that up, you can start living truthfully. And that's showing out. No pretend. You won't stumble over your words. You won't backpedal. You won't overreact. You won't pull the trigger. You won't go postal on people. Because you're not repressing your light. You're being the light. You're showing out. You're being yourself by showing up and being there for yourself. So you practice being there for yourself in simple environments. And when you're tempted to give people a piece of your mind, you're showing off. When the camera is on, when the public is looking at you, when your parent is looking at you, when your dog is looking at you, when you're whatever. You don't need to be anybody different. You can't be anybody different. You can only be yourself. And learning to be yourself takes some good company alone. So the practice of being yourself in private transfers to the same thing in public, and you don't have this anxiety that people are watching you. You can still laugh. You can speak openly. You can be vulnerable, because that's how you are in private. That's not to say you have to pour your heart out in public, but you can be there with yourself, for yourself, supporting yourself, encouraging yourself, not having to show off, give a biography. You'll learn how to give honestly, which is anonymous. Honest giving is anonymous. These people that are philanthropists and put names on the side of buildings, and that's the ego. The ego keeping track and score. Look what I did. Look at me. That's a show off. True giving is private. Total private. That's showing out. If you take credit for it, it's showing off. Anything that says, look at me, is showing off. But if you want to show out, don't say, look at me. Just be yourself. Be the truth. Demonstrate truth. Truth is subtle. It's real. And it's undeniable once you know who you are. Thank you for watching. Hope you'll check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com.